Finally, 2 games come out the same week that break the mediocrity and disappointments so far of 2015. And those 2 games are Bloodborne, a badass fucking game, and Pillars of Eternity, another badass fucking game. And that's what this video is about. And Pillars is about creating yourself and your buddies and venturing out in a party of up to 6 in an old school nostalgic cRPG experience. There's a lot of classes to choose from. I think I made Other Joe a barbarian. Making a video, Joe, in my way, Joe. Did you put some fucking clothes on, man? Are you serious? Like you're taking away my spotlight. Okay, I've had to. Oh, hell no, alright, Joe? You know what, on second thought, they're gonna make you a, druid. Yeah, a druid. A fully clothed druid. Here, let me get your cape here. Come on, Joe.
I don't like this.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't like this?
It doesn't show my physique.
I can't have you stealing all of my kills. So, dude, the druids... Oh, come on, Joe. The druids are still really fucking cool, man. They got spells. And the animations look really cool. There's even one that's like a Kamehameha, I think. Yeah. Try it out. Hit that thing over there. Come on. This will be awesome. You're gonna like this. You're gonna back up. We need a little room. Okay. So, Pillars of Eternity is based on the Infinity Engine, which harkens back to the heyday of cRPGs in the 90s, and brings back this rush of nostalgia. It's heavily influenced by games like Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, and the more well-known Baldur's Gate series. And what that means is that you'll be getting a top-down, isometric view of the world and a deep, rich experience that's going to include plenty of reading. This is true role-playing in the original sense. Now, it's going to be aided by your imagination as you read through thousands of well-written lines. In fact, it's probably the most reading you'll do with a game all year. So if you're not into reading, then don't count on enjoying this game. But I know I liked it. This is the Angry Joe Reading School for the Gifted. Yep. Yes, sir. We are gifted here at the AngryJoeShow, in case you didn't know. Hell, there was even little storybook adventures tossed in with multiple choices. I haven't had this much fun reading the majority of my games since the 90s.
Blood gushes forth in such quantities that you can't imagine there was anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood, the path gleams with 1,000 souls worth of rest and supplies at long. Reading this is warping my mind. I'm going into madness. It's madness to tell you this blood and skulls and fucking rubbing and flesh.
It's definitely not a game that gives a shit about pandering to the attention-spanless Call of Duty generation, and it certainly doesn't hold your hand. What it does do is give you so many different options for how you want to play, be it in the many classes, the extensive character creator, and all the insane amount of different choices and paths that you can take in the game and retake differently in multiple playthroughs. I kill them both and take the money.
Take the money and then kill them.
We're gonna get Joe. We'll get the money off their dead bodies if we attack them.
Or we get okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Which one did you do?
I attacked. Blind fool. Nonton draws his blade. You won't take this from us. Not for that wretch.
Crave the feel him.
This is a long game. I put over 60 hours into it, and there's still more to be played. Now, it's certainly not for everyone, okay? Most companies would probably scoff at the idea of doing a game at this scale based on old school RPGs for this generation. And that's why Obsidian used Kickstarter to get it done. Over 77,000 backers and about $4 million raised. That proves that there's still a market for these types of games, and thankfully so. So, what's the game about? Well, the main plot is that you're basically a watcher, okay? Someone who can interact and read the experiences of disembodied souls.
Fucking app. People are being fucking tortured.
It's like a dream?
Yeah, I'm a watcher, Joe, so I could sort of
You're pervert.
see
I
things.
got it.
No, what? How dare you?
I'm a watcher.
No, that's not at all what I meant.
There's a shadowy organization that's looking to change the balance of the world by manipulating key figures from behind the scenes. And it's up to you to discover why you have awakened as a watcher in the first place, what their sinister goals are, and then put a stop to them. Now, I gotta be honest, it's a serviceable story. It's not the strongest or as epic as some of the previous games that it's influenced by, but it's definitely enough to keep you going. You know, in fact, for most of Act 1, you'll likely be confused and lost, a bit overwhelmed, as the game kind of dumps its lore on you pretty quickly, too quickly. It's not until about Act 2 that you can really get a sense of what's going on and things kick into high gear. It's unfortunate that the story doesn't grab you harder. If you don't particularly understand or care about what's going on in the world, you're more likely to skip through many of its dialogue. And I know that after the first 2 or 3 soul experiences, these little stories that you could read by talking to NPCs, I stopped caring about those. Sure, they're expertly written and very descriptive, but I just skipped doing them altogether after a point. And the camera would even often auto-adjust, so I couldn't even see the damn characters that I was talking to. There just needs to be something more done there. Perhaps these interesting side stories, if they were voice acted like other important lines in the game, they would have been more effective. So I felt like I missed out on a lot during Act 1 and some of these stories because the game didn't do enough to make them interesting. But where the game truly shines, okay, is the rest of the experience. I just enjoyed myself so damn much. I had no problem playing the game for 11 hours on end at times. People were telling me to go to sleep on Twitch. It's hard to describe. Elements come together so well. The music is absolutely a joy to listen to.
I like this music. That's good music.
I want to go back to the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
The voice acting is superb, even if there is a lack of it outside of major quests. The hand-drawn backgrounds feel like a treat that demands to be explored fully, and there's a ton of areas to do so in. There's an unlimited inventory stash that's accessible from anywhere, leading you to become a huge loot whore, which instantly makes me happy. And there's lots of other little touches and custom game options for veterans and new players alike. I even love the banter between your different companions that you pick up along the way. Hell, there's even a meaningless pet system that has plenty of awe moments.
You see, so this is me, this is other Joe, this is me. That's my kitty. You like my kitty? You can equip pets in this game.
What's his name?
This kitty.
What is it?
My kitty's name is Kitty.
Kitty.
And sometimes it'll meow. But it didn't meow right now. Because you can't get cats to do what you want to do when you want them to do it. They do it on their own.
I think it's ultimately getting high ratings because it allows you to experience this cRPG again all these years later with a beautiful high-definition look, a manageable interface that fits today's expectations, and the overall combat and gameplay is just a ton of fun. Now, the combat, it's a welcome change of pace from, you know, today's RPGs. We're gonna activate your frenzy. No! Now, I want to see how hard you hit. 23, that's good. 19, you bring down. 9, you're not in frenzy no more? After them! Whoa. So you're a little slower because your sword is big, but you do good damage.
I'm also getting fatigued.
However, it is admittedly somewhat basic when compared to the recent Divinity Original Sin, which is also the same type of isometric RPG. See, in Pillars, there's no interaction with your environment outside of traps, and there's no dynamic combination of fired off spells that work with each other as there is in Original Sin, which I really should have put on my top 10 games of 2014 list. Sorry about that, guys. But see, here in Pillars, it feels missing because it has a lack of that. But it is still awesome too. Don't get me wrong. Screaming it is. Screaming. Ah! Oh no!
Oh my god!
We had this shit!
Like,
He's near death! What just happened? Joe!
He's your last hope. How did he hit me?
Yes! Oh, he got him with that last fucking shot.
Oh my god.
Woo. That was close as hell. That was by the skin of our chinny
Barely.
chin chins.
I just think that it too closely mimics its influencer games without making any new additions and leaps forward for today's market. You're basically playing a micromanaging minigame, right? So expect that. You're pausing combat or slowing time to allow you to issue out individual orders to your characters, targeting enemies, and taking all important positioning into account and attempting to, you know, control the situation. It's as deep and as rewarding as you want to make it. You can use the same, you know, spells and attacks over and over if you want, or you can experiment with countless options. There's this great sense of accomplishment when you take on a situation that is likely, you know, outside of your level, but when you come out barely on top, it's that feeling that makes you, yes, makes you just like, I just did that. And that's what makes it addictive. One thing that's unique about the game is its endurance mechanic. Instead of health, it's endurance that matters, and if you run out of it, you're knocked out of combat. Health is more like this long-term stat that can decrease as well, and if your health and endurance are ever at 0, your character dies, which ends the game. And if you have the option on, it can be permanently.
Fucking hell. Yeah. That is hard. I told you guys.
However, even though the combat is enjoyable, there are some deficiencies I need to talk about. There's a complete lack of companion AI that is infuriating when you're in combat and you see your guys just standing around refusing to support their comrades until you tell them specifically to do something.
Get in here!
I haven't been clicked on, Joe. Sorry.
Hurry up now!
Click on me. Joe's dying. What the fuck?
Would be nice. Jesus.
I know, Joe, but I haven't been given orders.
What are you doing? Your orders are right in front of you!
I can't,
Help
Joe.
me.
I got no brain! The game also has major pathing issues that you're gonna get fucking pissed off with.
Where's my friend?
Look at Angry Joe. He's not attacking at all, even though I have him on. See, the pathing in this game is so
What am
fucked.
I doing?
I hate it.
I'm already taking so many hits.
I know. You will wish more time had been spent on AI and pathing so you can enjoy it more and you can avoid these ridiculous types of situations. Joe, enemies ahead. I think you should go in front, soak the damage. Joe, what are you doing, man?
Attacking!
No, you're not. Go around me. It's a doorway, Joe.
Help! What is this sorcery?
Joe, there's plenty of room. Go around me. What is your fucking problem? God damn it! Sometime into the game, you clear out an old stronghold and gain control of your own freaking castle. One that you can upgrade with buildings while you're away, which increases your prestige in the world and earns you money while you adventure. But be sure to hire some guards to protect it from bandits. Like I rescued this orc, or I went to go deal with this orc in a cave one time that was harassing a town. And it was just so cool because instead of killing him, I convinced him to calm down, bro, and join us. And now he's protecting my castle back at the castle. And it cost me a lot of money to recruit. And my prestige goes down a little bit because the town is like, what the fuck is this fucking ogre guarding this stronghold? But the fact that that's even possible is cool and just a small taste of what's in the game.
Come, soft winds of death. Let's do that.
Soft winds of death.
Then I'll reduce their concentration. Then I'll embolden my allies. And then I'll just talk about death for the next 4 or 5 chants. I'll just talk about death. Does that sound good, chat? Come, soft winds of death. The soft winds of death will come for you, and the winds are still coming to bring you death, and your death is spoken upon the winds, for you will die when the winds touch you of death, is what I will say.
And while the stronghold is cool, I did feel like it could have been even more meaningful outside that. It's a shame that at no point in the story is like they're an epic battle defending your keep from waves of enemies or something like that, or them trying to, burn down your castle. That would have been awesome. Especially if you were defending it with your companions and if you had the possibility of dying at any time during the game. And that's still the case in the game. There are 8 possible companions that you can pick up throughout the game. And while it's a far cry from the 17 plus we got decades before in like Baldur's Gate games, it's still appreciated. Even if most of the characters admittedly aren't particularly interesting compared to what we've seen in the past. I mean, my personal favorites, which are interesting, are Eder, Aloth, and the dirty old man priest.
Nothing like this in Gilded Vale. Just Wallaruna the milkmaid. She knew what she was doing.
Overfried cod, watered ale, and prostitution. A bastion of Deerwooden culture.
Now to find a home for my other staff. You can trust me.
But there's also a grieving mother, too, whose backstory is pretty fascinating. Look, if you don't like the characters, you can also make your own party, which is what I did with Other Joe and Amanda. But unfortunately, obviously, they're not going to have the rich backstory of the ones that are supplied to you, or these side quests that you can go on to help them and they like you more and all that cool stuff. Now, it's important to note that killing enemies in this game doesn't earn you experience. That threw me off a little bit. They only clear the area. Instead, experience is gained through exploring new areas, completing main quests, side quests, and even finishing the bestiary. I think the level cap in this game is 12, and you maybe finish the game around 8 or 9, but there will be plenty left to explore, especially if you plan to re-roll your character and try the game's other choices that you didn't do the first time. This game is pretty good for that. Isometric cRPG gameplay isn't your typical RPG these days, and for those that can put up with the learning curve and be willing to be open-minded and play something different, something that's a little old school, there is no better throwback and justice done to its genre here than with Pillars of Eternity, and also Divinity Original Sin, those two. But I highly recommend either of these. So what holds back Pillars of Eternity from a 9 or a 10 that it's getting kind of often right now? Well, the simplistic companion AI-less combat, okay? The serviceable story that could have been more gripping. And finally, I was a bit disappointed at the lack of interesting or epic loot. Like, remember when you got that badass weapon in XYZ game? Well, yeah, this game doesn't really have that. Instead, that feeling comes from leveling up and unlocking new skills, talents, and spells, which are really cool, and the animations are awesome. You just have to have the right character who's that class in your party. It's just those rare, cool-looking weapons aren't there, and when you do get one, their stats are barely above, like, the dusty old rusty sword that you got at the beginning of the game. And I also don't understand the long loading screens. They're way too frequent and take too long for a game like this. There's even slight hidden loading after combat before you can even loot anything that's pretty annoying. Let's not try to copy old school games that closely, Obsidian. Alright, however, the game simply rises above most of its flaws, okay? All in all, when you consider what has been achieved here and what you get, and that it only retails for $45, it is a damn steal at that price, and the replay value is insane. Resolving new classes, murdering those people you left alive last time, taking other sides. The game rises above it all and gets a boost to a final verdict of 8 out of 10. It takes a step back from insane budgets and really maximizes as much as it can where it matters most to make for a fantastic cRPG experience that lays a solid foundation for what I hope is an expansive and improved sequel. I'm down for this being a new franchise. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.
What is this sorcery?
Joe, there's plenty of room. Go around me. What is your fucking problem? God damn it! All right. Perfect.
What, you buy this Dollar General?
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Careful, this is oh, don't hit you with my axe.
Stop